Hello guys, how are you doing? Well, this week we have something very important, which is verbs that are always followed by to plus infinitive, or verbs that are always followed by an ing form, or verbs that can be either followed by a gerund or a to plus infinitive. So for instance, we have verbs plus ing: deny, avoid, report, finish, mind. An example: I deny having anything to do with him. Then verbs followed by to plus infinitive: refuse, want, afford. For instance, I can't afford to buy a mansion in Miami. Anyway, I'm sending you a complete list of verbs that are followed by ing or to plus infinitive. Good. Then verbs that can be either followed by an ing form or to plus infinitive. Like, I like eating pizza. Okay, it means that on a regular basis. Okay, it's something that I do on a regular basis. Okay, it's something very common. But if I say I like to eat pizza, I'm expressing a personal desire. Okay, something difficult for me. Okay. Then try. After try, we always normally use an ing form. For instance, I tried using a different key and it worked. Okay. However, it is possible to use try and then to. Okay, to express that you struggled, that it was difficult for you to carry out an action. For instance, I have tried to do it, but it's very difficult. Okay, so that's the difference. Then remember, okay? For instance, she remembered to open the window before she left, okay? And she remembered opening the window. What's the difference? Well, if he remembered to open the window, okay, before she left, it means that in that precise moment she remembered to open the window. However, if he remembered opening the window, okay, is something that he recalls from the past. Okay, so he recalls the action after doing it. Okay, that's the difference. Then forget. It's also possible to use forget plus to plus infinitive. Okay, forget ing. For instance, I forgot to phone my brother. Okay, so it's something of the past. It belongs to the past. But for instance, you can also say, sorry, I never forget phoning my sister. I never forget. Okay, good. Then, for instance, when we use phrasal verbs like carry out or go on, we normally use an ing form, okay? Especially because they are followed by a preposition, and after a preposition, we have the rule in English that we use an ing form. However, with go on, it's also possible to use a to plus infinitive form. For instance, the most common way of using it is he went on speaking in English. No, he continued speaking in English. But when we have two actions, it is also possible to use go on and then to plus infinitive. For instance, he won an award and went on to film more great films. Okay, so when we have two actions, okay, the continuation of another action, it's possible to use a go on and to plus infinitive. Then important, for instance, the verb start. Okay, normally after start we use an ing form, but it is also possible to use start and to plus infinitive. For instance, I started playing the guitar when I was a little boy. Okay, or I started to play the guitar 2 years ago. So in this case, when we use to plus infinitive, it implies a more recent action. Okay, good. Well, and then also important in the list I'm sending you, verbs like suggest, stop, and regret are classified as always being followed by an ing form, but there are some exceptions. For instance, I can say, I suggest that we do things differently. Okay, so in that case, we are not using suggest and then ing. Also, stop, normally followed by an ing form, is also possible to be used with to plus infinitive when we have again two actions. For instance, I stopped to have a coffee on the way home. Okay, and also with regret is also possible. For instance, The most common way of using it is an ing form. No, for instance, I regret not having studied enough for the exam. But you can also say, I regret to tell you that he has passed away. Okay, it's also possible to show some remorse and something that is difficult for you. And also, need is normally always followed by a to plus infinitive form. No, for instance, I need to practice more. But it's also possible to use it with some passive constructions. For instance, this exercise needs revising. Okay, when we use it with a passive connotation. Well, so I'm sending you a list, also some theoretical explanations, and some exercises. But we will continue working with that in our online session. And we will also do more exercises on our online session. So please make sure that you have your books with you for our session, okay, this coming Thursday. Anyway, if you have any question, please let me know. Thank you.